Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to our little reality show, a show that gives us knowledge, inspiration, fun, and new experiences. This is, and welcome to A Little Talk with Jhon. So welcome everyone. I hope that you are all safe there as you are watching, especially to our virtual and home buddies who have been very supportive since day one. And for today's very exciting episode, I am just more than grateful and honored because even in the midst of this pandemic, he took our invitation just to come here in our show. And I am probably sure that he will give us knowledge and inspiration about his four stages of development. And I'm really looking forward to hear a lot from him. Ladies and gentlemen, he is famously known for his four stages of development that look at how child develop intellectually throughout the course of childhood. A Swiss psychology and genetic epistemologist, ladies and gentlemen, no other than himself, Mr. Jhon. Hi sir, good morning and welcome to our show. Can you please say hi to our virtual and home buddies out there?
Hi everyone, I hope you're doing good and keep safe everyone.
Yes, everyone should keep safe. So sir, I know that for today's episode, this is very exciting and personally, I am really looking forward for this productive conversation we have that will give us information, especially to our audience, to our viewers who are listening and watching right now. So, for my first question, sir, do you believe that in sensory motor stage, children gains knowledge through their senses only?
I believe they experience the world and gain knowledge in the sense and motor movements. And I choose to call sense and motor stage because the sense and motor abilities gain a basic understanding around the world.
Wow. Especially to a child.
Yeah.
So, in your study, what is the main task during this stage of a child?
According to my study, the main task of sensory stage is to learn the child the concept of object permanence. That's the main task of sensory stage.
So for my third question, can you give me some examples in cognition or in cognitive development of a child during this stage?
The sub-stage involving coordinating and sensation in schema. For example, my 2 years old nephew, he always stuck her tongue in the mouth and he always repeated because the infant find the replaceable.
Or the pleasure of a
Yes.
child. Yeah. Now, sir, that you are just sharing to us the main task of a child. My question is, what is also the primary or the main task of a parent, especially to a mother, to his or her child?
Actually, the main task of parents, or should I say mother, is to take care of the child, to assisting them eating or walking and everything.
Okay. Especially also that they are infants or 1 to 2 years old.
Yes.
They must need protection to a mother, love, care. Up next, we will hear from him the next stage of his theory of cognitive development. A Little Talk with Jhon. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back to our show. This has been your host, and we still have here Mr. PJ to share with to us his theory of cognitive development. So, sir, my first question is: after sensory motor stage, we have pre-operational, right? So, this stage, when does this stage occur or start?
Pre-operational stage start at the age of 2 to 7 years old. A child starts to begin symbolically and use words and pictures to represent an object.
So, sir, for my next question, can you please share with to us what are some characteristics during this stage of a child?
One of the characteristics of a child at this stage is egocentrism. It means they do not yet understand concrete logic, cannot mentally manipulate information.
Okay. And for you, sir, can you please give us one disadvantage and advantage of a child during this stage?
One of the advantages of a child during this age is their imagination and creativity is working.
While the disadvantage,
While the disadvantage is a child cannot totally perceive a logical scenario.
up next, we will hear the third stage of Piaget's cognitive development theory. So, better to stay tuned. So welcome back to our show. We still have here Mr. Piaget to share his third stage of his theory of cognitive development. So what does this concrete operational stage all about?
It is all about the abilities of a child, which their characterization on this stage become much more logical and sophisticated in their thinking during this stage of development.
I am just curious, why do you call it concrete operational stage?
I call it concrete operational stage because children are still very concrete and literal in their thinking at this point of development. They become much more adept at using logic.
So for my third question, it's stated here that a child at this point tend to struggle with abstract and hypothetical concepts. Why do you think so?
Because while their thinking become much more logical, it is very hard for them to cope up with it because it can also be rigid. So that the children at this point, they tend to struggle with abstract and hypothetical concepts.
So, for my last question, in this stage, what are some abilities of a child when it comes to cognitive development?
The abilities of a child in this stage were fairly good at using inductive logic, at which involves going from specific experience to a general principle.
So, as we will be right back, we will hear from him the next and last stage of cognitive development theory. So, better to stay tuned.
Hey guys, it's BB Rexa. Make sure you join me on this week's episode of YouTube's Released. This is all leading up to the world premiere of my new music video, Sacrifice. Released. Watch now. Only on YouTube.
And now, welcome back to our show. Now, let us proceed to the next and last stage of Piaget's theory of cognitive development. So, for my first question, what are some changes in thinking ability of a child during this stage?
In my last theory of cognitive development, which is the formal stage, I do believe that the thinking process of a child will develop, and at this point, the reasoning thinking of every individual will increase, especially in solving a problem in any aspect of the situation.
So, for you, what would be the best characteristic of a child during this stage?
One of the best characteristics of a child in formal stage is they are capable on solving or planning quickly, especially or for example, in a math problem, they can easily find a solution in solving this, and they can handle what is wrong or right.
For my last question, can I ask why did you develop and create this theory?
I created this theory because I do believe that each child or a person there are a step-by-step development. So I created the theory to help the parents, or especially the mother, to have a guidelines on how to raise their child properly, and because of my theory.
Wow, thank you for this productive and knowledgeable information that you've given to us, especially to our mother, our virtual and home buddies out there who are listening and watching right now. I know that they will give information. They have the information to assess their child, especially in this matter.
It is my pleasure and my honor to share with you my theory, which is the cognitive development.
So, this has been your host, John Merx-Driguloran, and this is a show that gives us knowledge, inspiration, fun, and new experiences. This is A Little Talk with John. Good day, and keep safe!